Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today you're joining me in my dining room. Like promised, it is a cold, wet, rainy day outside, so I am finding ways to ignore the dirty house and still do gardening projects. Today I'd like to start my tomato plants indoors, and I would like to bring you along for that process. At the recommendation of other YouTubers, I also purchased two of these photo organizers to store my seeds. They're really convenient. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I ordered mine off of Amazon. I think I even saw them at Walmart, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, you have this one big case that then holds 16 little cases that are perfect seed packet size. So you can organize these in any way that makes sense in your mind. Easily enough though, today I have all of my tomatoes in one package here. So we will be starting tomato seeds today. I'm super excited to bring you along with me on this. I have enough space in my garden to grow reasonably 10 tomato plants. I love tomatoes. I joke that I'm like 75% tomato. In the summertime, I can like live off of tomato sandwiches. I'm super excited to be starting these because that means I'm one step closer to that tomato sandwich. First, some things that you're going to need. Seed starting mix. I like to use a container to pre-mix my seed starting mix. I will put... Sorry, my cats are playing. So far today, I have been interrupted by the cats, the heater, the dryer, the washer, the cat litter box, and my wind chime. Making YouTube videos, honestly, is a lot harder than I thought. I knew it was hard for people, but this 2 days into this adventure has definitely showed me that it's gonna be a game changer to get used to. So, seed starting mix. I like to dump mine in a container and then I will get it pre-moistened so that way whenever you put it in your seed trays, you can pack it down and that way it won't dislodge your seed. Because if you put an itty bitty seed into this dirt and then you put water on it, your poor little seed is going to get moved all around, which that's not a big deal. The big deal comes when it pushes your seed down too far and your seed won't get enough light to germinate, and then you think you're a bad gardener and you're not. You just didn't pre-moisten your seed starting soil. So that's why I like to do that. So before we get dirty putting the soil in here and getting it wet, let's go over all the other stuff that I have here. I like to water my seeds in with these little condiment containers. I got them at the $1.25 store. And they're really nice. A lot of people use like pump sprayers. And I did that for the last 2 years. I found that they were really messy because when you sprayed the water, it inevitably went like everywhere. So it got the back of my wall dirty. And I start my seeds indoors before I move them outside. So I kind of need a cleaner process. So I have been using these this year. I love them. They don't seem to dislodge my seeds at all. It's super easy to water them fast, and so far I have no complaints about them. I wish they were bigger. I guess that's complaint number one. I have my seed starting trays. Interruption number 7. My dog needs a drink. So you will also need seed starting trays. I have here a 6-pack. I also have 12 packs. And I also have 24 packs. Today with my tomatoes, I will be using the 24 count. And I will probably do... I need to figure out how many tomato varieties I actually have. I will either do 1 or 2 cells per variety. Now I will do that because I will seed kind of heavy, and then I'll go back through and separate them out, which I'll bring you along for that process as well. I like to do that because if I was to start all the tomato plants that I have with one in each of these little cells, I would need so many of these trays, and I just don't have the room. I don't have the room for under grow lights. I don't have the room. So what I like to do is start like 4 or 5 in one cell, and then I will separate them all out and put them in red Solo cups. I actually use clear, but you know what I mean. The little plastic cups that you drink out of at parties or whatever. So I'll put them in those, and then I move them out to my greenhouse where I have a lot more room, and they'll grow on and stay in those cups until they go out into the garden. But don't worry, I'll bring you along for the whole process. Get to see tomato plants from seedlings to plants to fruit. To get started, we will take our seed starting mix, and I'm just using Jiffy's. I bought it from Walmart. You can make your own. I haven't really looked into it because right now I'm not starting enough seeds, I think, to justify making your own seed starting mix. It might be a possibility for in the future, something that I'll have to learn to do. But as of right now, it's probably cheaper for me just to buy these bags at the store. So like I said, just using Jiffy's. I'm just going to dump it into my container. I'm going to take this to the sink and just kind of wet it down. Okay, so I'm back. I ran this under the faucet for about 10 seconds. That's not an exact science or anything. One thing that I do like to do is use warm water when you're mixing this all up. And I pamper my seeds, I guess. I would want to be planted in warm water. So that's what I use. So we're just going to kind of mix this up. I can already tell that I'm going to have to take this back under the sink. It's definitely still too dry. But you basically just mix it all in like this. And then what you want your soil to be like, you want to be able to grab a big chunk of it, squeeze it, hold its shape, which this is almost doing, almost. But when you squeeze it, you don't want water coming out. So I'm going to go back to the sink here. I'll be right back. Okay, take 2. Let's see if we got it right this time. This is definitely feeling better. And you'll get that too. You'll be able to, like, I think baking, you kind of get to know the feel of things too. Like, you know if your dough is too dry or, I don't know, I don't bake. But you just kind of get to learn the feel of things. And this is feeling great here. Okay, so again, you just want to be able to grab some, squeeze. Oh, I'm getting some water. I might have added too much. But again, I don't really think so. You just want to be able to grab some, squeeze. Okay, no water, but it holds its form. So I think we're ready to start planting. Let me go see if Elijah wants to join us. All right, we're back. Elijah wanted to help. So Elijah, today we're going to be planting our tomato seeds. Yay. Do you remember which one was your favorite last year?
Not really.
You like these?
Oh, right.
Do you know what those are?
Super sweet tomatoes.
Super sweet 100s. Here, and I'll hold it up to the camera. So super sweet 100 there. And we'll probably put this up on the screen because my camera's my phone, so it's not super great. Let's see. We have Rosella tomato. Those are also little cherry tomatoes.
Whoa, those are cool.
I kind of think so too. I'm excited to try them. Let's see. Black cherry.
No way, that is cool.
Ooh, these are the ones that we really liked last year. Those Sun Golds. Remember the little yellow ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were so good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
These don't have a picture. We also have Brandywine Yellow.
Ooh.
We liked those a lot, huh?
I don't remember these.
These are what I made tomato sandwiches with.
Wait.
Tomato sandwich time almost, huh? Paul Robeson tomato. I haven't had these. They were also a recommendation from other YouTubers. Brandywine Black.
Ooh.
Also haven't had that one. Brandywine Red. Haven't had that one. But I bought those off the fact that I loved the Brandywine Yellow. So I'm hoping that I like the Brandywine Black and Red also.
Mm-hmm.
Kellogg's Breakfast. Do you want to show that one? Nice. Gold Medal. That one almost looks tie-dye, doesn't it? Good job, baby. Ooh, we liked this one. Can you tell them what that one's name is?
Big Rainbow.
Good job. It's so good. So it's a red tomato, and then it has almost like, I guess I wouldn't say swirls, maybe patches of like orange and yellow in it too. Maybe if I can find it, I'm sure I can, I'll throw up some tomato sandwich pictures that have those tomatoes in them. The next two we also haven't tried yet. You want to read that one?
Mr.
Stripey.
Stripey.
Yeah. Mr. Stripey. Is that funny?
Yeah, because it is a...
Do you know what that one says? Delicious.
The what?
Delicious tomato.
I guess it is delicious.
I bet it is. We're going to find out this summer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So which one would you like to help me plant first?
The gold.
Gold medal? Perfect choice. Well, when you plant anything, the first thing you need to do is make a marker. You know why?
Why?
Take it from an expert. If you don't mark your tray of what you plant in it, you'll forget. And then you won't know what your plant is.
Okay.
So we need to write gold medal. Do you want to write it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will look at the packet.
Perfect. You'll just write gold medal.
Do I?
Gold medal tomato. Oh, you know what? I always like to put, honestly, we'll be able to tell that it's a tomato, but I always like to put like a T or a TOM for tomato. That is perfect, buddy. Good job.
Thanks.
Can you count how many tomatoes we have? Tomato packets?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, we'll leave that one there. So we have 13. I'm going to scoop these over. So we have our container. We have our soil. We have our tomato seeds. Our marker. Okay, so we put this in here, and then you're going to want to roll up those sleeves. You ready to get dirty?
Oh, no.
Okay, so you scoop some up, and you fill it in there.
Can I wash my hands after this?
Yes, you're going to wash your hands after this. We have our seed tray all filled. We're going to move this up here.
And then put the seeds in.
But first, what do we need to do?
Label. Put the
You're
label.
right, we do. We need to put the label in the tray. Okay?
And then plant them.
Now what?
And then plant them.
Nah. Do you remember?
No.
That's okay. Calm down. You take your little finger and you make some little holes. That way the seeds have some place to go. So you just kind of make a hole in the 4 corners. And that's the best part. Little kids' fingers are the best for seed starting. Okay. So if we made 4 holes here, how many tomato seeds do you think we're going to put in there?
6.
I like your confidence. Okay, we made 4 holes. How many tomatoes do you think tomato seeds we're going to put?
1.
Now you're just being goofy. We're going to put 4. We're going to put 4 seeds in each cell. So we take our seeds and we drop 1 in that hole, 1 in that hole,
They are really small.
1 in that hole. I'm missing 1 right there. Now we're just going to cover these up. And then do you know what the next step is?
Water them.
Yes. You've planted a few things in your life, huh?
Okay.
Okay, do you want to water them?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my dream.
You remember how I water? That's your dream? Well, I'm glad to make your dream come true. You know what we need to do first, though?
What?
Because if we water these, here, be careful. If you water these, all the water is just going to come right out that drain hole in the bottom. So we need to get our tray.
I know.
And put
Can I
it
do it? Can I do that? I wanna do
Oh, yeah. There you go. What do?
it. You put it in this tray carefully.
Perfect
So
job.
you don't mess up the dirt.
Yes. And now, you want to grab that water bottle?
Yes.
I'll water these. You water these. Okay, so we have our first tomato variety planted, huh? Do you remember the name of it? Gold medal. All right, so there's our first little tray of tomatoes.
Yay!
Before we get planting our next set of tomato varieties, I am just going to go through and make all of the labels for those. So I have all of my labels made, so now I'm going to fill up this tray and we'll get to planting the rest of our tomatoes. And then you just kind of want to press it down just ever so slightly. You don't want to compact it or anything, but just enough to make sure that there's no gaps in the soil. Okay, so tray's all filled. We can move our dirt aside here. And I think I'm going to go wash my hands really quick before I touch all the labels and stuff and get those all dirty. Not that they're not going to get dirty anyways, but just so we start clean. I also am going to go ahead and put the seed tray into this water tray. This one has no holes in it, and so once our seedlings get a little bit bigger and more established, instead of using the condiment water, we're going to go ahead and fill this bottom tray up with water, and the soil will wick that water up and water our plants that way. But right now, we're just using it to catch the water that makes it to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 cells per variety of tomato since I have 24 cells and I have 12 tomato varieties. Okay, so I'm just going to start from this side and do 2 cells, and it looks like I'm starting with the Rosella tomato. I went ahead and just organized my seed packets to match along with my labels. I went ahead and changed the camera view just so that way you guys can get a look at the action and not my face. So, to get started, I think since I'm doing 2 cells of each variety, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 seeds per cell. So I'm just going to make 3 little holes in each cell, and I want to space them a little ways apart. That way, whenever I go through and I separate them, they're not like right on top of each other. It just makes it a little nicer for me, a little nicer for the plants, and it's something I've learned to kind of think about whenever I start these things. Our first label is Rosella tomato. So here's kind of what tomato seeds look like. And tomato seeds are super forgiving in a lot of aspects. Like if they don't get enough light and they get leggy, that's no problem. You can fix that. They're decent size, so it's not like you're trying to pick up these little microscopic things. So these ones are really good for first-time gardeners, for people with kids who like to help garden, because it's something that they can, you know, easily pick up and easily count out. So we did our 6 Rosella tomato seeds there. And we will just continue on like that, but that is the process. So next I have Brandywine. And so any seeds that you have left over in your hand, just kind of cup your seed packet like this and just scoop them up. Seed packets store for a really long time, and they store very well as long as you keep them in like a cool, dark area. A lot of people keep them in their closets or in under their bed, places like that. And now that all of the little holes have tomato seedlings in them, we're just going to cover them up and water them in and say their good graces that they grow up big and strong. So now that the tomato seeds are all planted, the next step is getting our humidity dome ready. This one came with the trays, and it comes with this little clip thing that goes right on the top there. And that spins so it opens and lets more air in or less air in. So I'm going to start with it pretty much closed. Sorry, I know the glare is terrible. Just so that way these seeds stay nice and saturated while they germinate. Because once a seed starts to germinate, if it dries out, that seed's no longer going to make it. It will unfortunately die. So you do want to keep a close eye on these until they germinate, which would probably be in about 5 to 7 days. I've had them germinate like in 3 days before, but that's not always the case. I will be putting mine under grow lights and on a heat mat. Grow lights I feel like are necessary. I don't have a south facing window. My garage is my entire south side, and my west side, which is also another good choice, is my front porch, which is covered. So I just don't have a very good window that I could start seeds in. So I do have to use grow lights. I ordered mine off Amazon. I will link those as well as these trays that I bought off there in the description below. So like I said, I will be putting mine under grow lights. They will also be on a heat mat. The heat mat is completely not necessary. I thought it was when I first started gardening, so I bought one and I use it. And does it maybe help them germinate a day or two faster? Yeah, it does. Do you need it? No. So I'll go put these under the grow lights, and then I'll put up a picture and let you guys see what it looks like all in its new home, and I'll keep you updated, and you'll see in a few days when they germinate. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and growing these tomatoes.